My name is Thomas Gugler, as you can see, president of World Chefs, which is running basically all the culinary events around the world with millions of chefs. And as we all know, HoReCa is and will be always our passion. A short brief about the HoReCa sector in Saudi Arabia. As I was living for 19 years here now in Saudi Arabia, while traveling a lot and seeing the newest trends which are ongoing. And as Saudi Arabia is following a fantastic trend which goes in the Vision 2030, definitely culinary plays a very essential role in regards to the development of the country and to the culture in addition to the hospitality industry. A lot of national programs has been implemented in developing quality aspects and going for a higher goal in getting actually the hospitality industry very, very well set. And we have today the great opportunity to speak to a lot of fantastic people here. One of the key elements what we talked and what we will talk about is definitely the Vision 2030, which plays on their flags healthier lifestyle for the citizens of Saudi Arabia, which means definitely products from all around the world have to be and will be on the table for the daily staples. And this is one of the elements while I and we all believe a nice cooperation between Saudi Arabia and Russia would be very, very beneficial for both of the sides. Now, first, I will introduce my first speaker. His name is Mr. Washdi Al-Gaban. He is the CEO of Saudia Catering, and we will play first a short video to introduce you to Saudia Catering. Please. Oh, Washdi, for me, a great pleasure having you today on the round table. It is for me really a very, very great pleasure due to the fact that we worked more than 10 years together, and I know about Saudia Catering, how fantastic this world of culinary is. And I would like to ask you some questions. For me, the first question, what I would like to ask you is, what are the key current and future trends in catering?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Actually, it's good to Saudi Arabia, especially the catering side of it. Saudi Catering is one of the Saudi Catering is one of the largest company here, especially providing especially supplying the airline business. Saudi Catering providing around 40 million meal, mainly for the in-flight catering, which covering most of the airline, around 71 airlines operating within Saudi Arabia. Aside from that, we are providing also around 35 million meal annually for other sector, mainly for the train station and the train itself in Saudi Arabia, also for Hajj and Umrah, and also some other non-aviation business. The situation now is exactly after the pandemic. Now we are in the recovery stage where starting in the end of 2020 and beginning of 2021, the resumption of the business. Hopefully, we are talking for the aviation side that will take another 1.5 years to go back to its normal level of consumption. We have around 1.2 billion riyal spent in the food related item, which I think it's a big role within the supply chain in Saudi Arabia. In the other side, we have the vision of 2030 of Saudi Arabia, where the sport and other activity and increasing the number. This is also is a future that where we are working in now to develop in that side, plus the hospitality and plus the healthcare division, where this will take a large number of consumption of food material, where now there's a lot of standardization in that side and upgrading the service within that area.
Wajdi, thank you very much. That's a very nice and in deep overview about the future, what you see and what actually the catering is believing in. And I would like to know another very important thing, how it would be possible to come a supplier for Saudi Arabian Airlines catering.
Yeah, actually it's possible now. Saudi catering is importing from 14 countries around the world, and I think Russia is one of the leading, exporting country, where we have a lot of synergy, where you might see there that to start in the near future.
Super, Wajdi, thank you very, very much for this enlightening. And I think there is a very, very big potential due to the fact that Saudi Catering has so many, I would say, connections all around the world, which can open markets definitely for the Russian sector and vice versa. It's the same. So now our next speaker will be Mr. Firas Neme. He is the General Manager and District Director of the Western Province, Saudi Arabia, from Radisson SAS Group. A very good morning to you, Firas. I hope everything is fine, and we are looking forward to get some very informative, I would say, notice about you.
Now, good morning, everyone. It's an honor actually to be in such an occasion. I'm the District Director for Radisson Hotel Group for Western Province, and I'm here to share my observation and my ideas with all the key people, key elements that are on this round table.
Super. Firas, so I would have two specific questions for you today, which I think is very important to know for our colleagues and friends in Russia. How do you see future trends in regards to the food and hospitality industry in Saudi? And hotels support actually the trends of healthy food for hotel and restaurant guests?
Actually, in line with the Vision 2030 food sorry, food and hospitality industry in Saudi Arabia is evolving on daily basis by keeping an eye on international trends. Saudi Arabia has a very potential and promising market. We as hotels, we always been supporting and promoting healthy food and healthy lifestyle. Therefore, you always find our healthy corner on all our buffets and all on room service menus, and dedicated corner, especially like with such gluten-free, lactose-free, vegan. We've been promoting and working a lot in this regard.
So I think as we all see, it is very, very important. And I think there is a very great potential in the market, especially in taking care about health products, which are very, very high in demand. Saudi Arabia's vision is definitely to develop a fantastic and healthy future for their inhabitants. And this is a great market which can be simply explored and to be developed. I have another question to you, Firas. How it is possible to become a product supplier, for example, for Radisson SAS Group hotels as restaurants? How do you select, for example, supplying chains, and how do you approach like food handling companies for the entire chain of Radisson?
Actually, because we are part of a group, Radisson Hotel Group, we have certain criteria for any product supplier. Anyone interested, there are certain criteria. It has to go through our regional office, which is based in Dubai. It is not on hotel level basis, and it's not on individual hotel basis. Selecting and approaching the supplying chain differ from each hotel based on their needs. But usually, on hotel level basis, we have a listed suppliers that are trustworthy, that they have been in the market. We've tested their product. We choose them accordingly. However, Radisson Hotel Group is always open to any vendor that is interesting to be listed in our procurement system.
Super. I mean, this is really in deep, I would say, very important for all the people who want to go into business, first of all, with big international hotel chains, and secondly, how to develop and cooperate with that kind of entities. Now, our next speaker will be someone very, very important actually for the development of products in the country, not only in the country, basically in the entire region of Middle East and worldwide. It's a global player which actually is very, very, I say, influential in regards to getting new trends on the table. I would like to welcome Mr. Zuhair Badrani. He is the Group Advisory Head for Food, and he is working for Nestle. Zuhair, a very good morning to you. I have a question to you. You are a very long time basically in Saudi Arabia, and you are developing trends here in Saudi. So my question to you today would be, how has the trend toward healthy lifestyle and nutrition influenced consumer demands for your food products?
Nestle is always on the top of priority is to being healthy. Provided to the consumers and customers in the healthier way. However, today our mission is we reducing some sugars in the food and using whole grains. However, lately also we've been launching a new brand, the Sweet Earth. It is for vegans and vegetarians and flexitarians. It's all, so it will be also for the green planet world, hopefully.
Super. I mean, that's really interesting. And as Nestle is a global player, I believe it is really important that we, on a level here in Saudi Arabia, are making sure that everything is going in this direction. How it is possible to become a supplier or in a cooperation with Nestle Saudi Arabia? That would be my next question.
Actually, Thomas, we are as a food solution company, we always provide solution to all customers, and we always look forward for it. This question is very deep because it will be related more with the factories. I'll keep this part for another time. But for now, we are looking always with all the customers and chefs who are using the products. They're using the products as a solution, and they take it and they prepare it and provide it to the consumer with the best quality and best dishes. They provide it to consumer in their restaurants and hotels.
Super, Zuhair, thank you very much. And now comes a personal question to you. How do you see, on a personal note, the future and cooperation for the Vision 2030?
The changes here, and I've been almost last time for 10 years in Saudi Arabia. The changes is going very fast, and the country is adopting these changes. The future is very promising. Today, the trends, it's ranking also #1, and everybody, they following the good trends. So I see the 2030 is very promising, and we are on the correct way building these promises for the future.
Super, Zuhair, thank you very much for enlightening our audience for today. And I think, as we all know, it is definitely in our hands how to make cooperation with Russia, with the world, and making the world basically a better place in regards to healthy and happy food. Now we will show you a small video, a short video about a fantastic company which is called First Mill. It's the biggest milling company in the world, and we will introduce you then later on to a fantastic person who will tell you a little bit more about flour and crops. Please play the video.
ومؤخرا وضمن رؤية 2030 والخطط الاستراتيجية المصاحبة لها في المملكة واعتماد تخصيص بعض المؤسسات الحكومية، كانت المؤسسة العامة للحبوب من ضمن المؤسسات المراد خصخصتها بهدف رفع مستوى الكفاءة التشغيلية وتحسين الأداء ودعم النمو الاقتصادي. وفي عام 2016 للميلاد أصدر مجلس الوزراء الموقر قراره رقم 35 باعتماد برنامج تخصيص المؤسسة، وأنشئت بعدها شركة المطاحن الأولى. تبلغ طاقة الطحن اليومية 4200 طن قمح لليوم، وتنتج ما يعادل 3360 طن دقيق يوميا، وتعادل أكثر من 74667 كيس زنة 45 كيلو جرام. ويبلغ عدد المطاحن في فروع شركة المطاحن الأولى 9 مطاحن، وتحتوي هذه المطاحن على عدد كبير من الصوامع التخزينية للقمح، تقدر طاقتها الاستيعابية ب220 ألف طن لاستقبال القمح. وبآخر ما توصلت إليه التكنولوجيا السويسرية في مجال الطحن. يمر إنتاج الدقيق بعدة مراحل يتم اختصارها كالتالي: بعد فحص القمح بواسطة المختبر وتصنيفه واجتيازه الجودة، يتم تنظيفه من جميع الشوائب مثل الأحجار والغبار وبذور النباتات الأخرى والزجاج والقطع المعدنية، ويتم إضافة الماء لترطيب القمح عند نسبة 15% لسهولة فصل الدقيق عن النخالة، وتخزينه لمدة 24 ساعة قبل عملية الطحن. ثم تبدأ مرحلة الطحن، وذلك بمرور القمح عبر اسطوانات تكسير وطحن، ويتبع كل مرحلة طحن عملية نخل وغربلة، وبالتالي يتم إنتاج الدقيق على مراحل متعددة يكون مختبر الجودة متابعاً ومشرفاً فيها على جودة الدقيق المنتج على مدار الساعة. بعد ذلك يتم تخزين الدقيق في صوامع تمهيداً ليعبأ في عبوات مختلفة الأوزان. يتم إنتاج الأعلاف في شركة المطاحن الأولى، وتبلغ طاقة إنتاج الأعلاف 900 طن يومياً، وبطاقة سنوية تبلغ 4,500,000 كيس. وتنتج الشركة ما يزيد عن 30 نوع أعلاف. تنتج شركة المطاحن الأولى النخالة بكمية 840 طن يومياً، وتعادل 21,000 كيس زنة 40 كيلوغرام يومياً، وبطاقة سنوية تبلغ ما يقارب 5,500,000 كيس. وتنتج الشركة المنتجات التالية: دقيق بر زنة 1 كيلوغرام، 10 كيلوغرام، 45 كيلوغرام. دقيق مخابز زنة 10 كيلوغرام، 45 كيلوغرام. دقيق فاخر زنة 1 كيلوغرام، 10 كيلوغرام، 45 كيلوغرام. دقيق بر فاخر زنة 10 كيلوغرام و45 كيلوغرام. جنين القمح النخالة الآدمية. علف تسمين الماشية زنة 50 كيلوغرام. أعلاف الخيول زنة 50 كيلوغرام. أعلاف الدواجن زنة 50 كيلوغرام. أعلاف الحملان زنة 50 كيلوغرام. أعلاف الطيور زنة 50 كيلوغرام. النخالة الحيوانية زنة 40 كيلوغرام.
You got a small impression about first milling company. I had the pleasure actually 2 years ago awarding this fantastic flour producing unit with the Innovation Award for the year 2018. As I believe the standards are on a top level and the company is basically importing grains from all around the world. And now I would like to give the word to engineer Yasser Masood, who is the quality assurance manager for the milling company. Yasser, welcome on our roundtable here in Saudi Arabia.
Thank you.
Yasser, I have a question. How do you see the cooperation with Russian exporters?
First of all, thanks all for to be here. Thanks, Chef Thomas. Thanks everybody. Actually, I am Yasser Masood. I am representative Milling Company 1. I am in quality assurance Jeddah office, Jeddah branch. Actually, as you see in the video, we are already a milling company plus also feed factory. We import the wheat. First of all, the wheat is coming to all milling company by SAGO. SAGO is government still. Is the one who have the authority to import the wheat from out all over the world, but there is some specification for the wheat which it is imported to Saudi Arabia. We can get the wheat from all over the world, Argentina, all countries, if it is already coming or require or come to our specification. So we are welcome any wheat suppliers from all over the world.
Interesting that you are open for everything. And I can tell our audience a small secret, which I just know, because I know you and the delegation was 2 or 3 years ago, even in Russia, and you were actually evaluating grains and qualities in Russia, and you was be very, very happy. And I seen that you also made some trial shipments on this kind of products in that time. That's correct, right?
Yes, right.
Super. I mean, you can see, I mean, even before we started this roundtable discussion, people are already going into the markets. I think there is a huge potential. And I have another question with you. What are your requirements or the specific requirements in regards to quality standards and supplier products?
First of all, we are importing wheat here for mainly for bread or bread and other products like cakes or all biscuits. But there is some specification for our wheat or imported wheat, which it is coming to us from SAGO. The moisture must be maximum 13%. I think they have some specifications they can accept until 14, but there is some price reduction. Protein, the minimum protein as a dry basis must be 12.5% minimum. and the test weight is 77 kilogram hectoliter as a minimum. The dockage and foreign material 1% maximum. Shrinking and broken kernel 3% maximum. Damaged kernel also around 1%. The main important is gluten, 26% wet gluten minimum. And also for falling number 270 seconds minimum. And also for 1000 weight kernel, it's 30 gram. Sure must be the wheat, new crops and free of live infestation, and have no other mixed kernels. And also the main important about bug damage, because we know some countries, especially in Europe near the Black Sea, have this problem of bug damage wheat. So I think there is a negotiation between Saudi government, Saudi Agriculture Ministry, and also Russian Federation about this point. The main important, the bug damage. This is only the total specification, which it is any supplier of wheat must come on this specification.
That's very interesting. I believe what the keynote about all this topic is that the qualities has to be assured, they has to be guaranteed, and definitely the given parameters has to be implemented in the right direction. So in regards to all the trading which we are talking about in all aspects, in all kind of foods, there are definitely some specific requirements, SFDA requirements, which has to be fulfilled. I mean, that can be later on in the B2B discussions elaborated. And I believe, I mean, there's a great opportunity in the coming 3 days for all the audiences to have direct communications with the key element players, which we have basically on the table. And I think this is actually a great adventure due to this roundtable discussion, which we can offer. So I want to say thank you very, very much, Engineer Yasser, for your time. It's a great pleasure having you here. And now I would like to play another video. The video goes about TACT Entertainment Events and Manufacturing Company. Now we are coming to the man behind the scenes. His name is Hisham Salman. He is the General Manager for Business Development from TACT Entertainment. And you might ask, why entertainment? Entertainment in Saudi Arabia has been written in capital letters with the new vision 2030 to go. The country is opening a lot, and this is related to hospitality industry in big letters, because all these events need definitely food. And therefore, I think Hisham Salman is the right guy to talk to. Hisham, welcome on our roundtable discussion. Great pleasure. Hisham, I would like, I mean, I had the pleasure in seeing your facility. It's something outstanding, state-of-the-art technology, what you are using. And I have a question. What are the catering and event trends in the future and nowadays, what you see despite of COVID-19?
Actually, it's very important pillars for the cultures, and will be affect the social and economical structures of society. Catering events planners often to advise the clients on timing and quality and how much space is required too. It's an opportunity to develop the client management skills, plus many clients will be event planners and potential for future employees.
Super. I mean, this is a very clear and straightforward direction. And I have a question, like when you are doing these amazing events, which are up, it could be 100,000, 10,000, 100,000 people, and you are creating really state-of-the-art event venues. How someone could become an event catering provider when you are working on this level? What's the requirements actually for people from outside the country, how to become actually a partner of you?
And it's a door, it's open for everyone. I think we are already in the track for this.
Okay, so I believe how do you see generally a kind of opening the market to other countries, especially to Russia? I think there is a huge potential, as I have been traveled to all the GUS countries very extensively, did a lot of events there, and I've seen the quality which Russia is offering is really fantastic. And I think this can be a very, very big milestone in opening this segment towards the industry with I would just say strategic partners like you, like people which with me today on the round table, and there are big opportunities. Do you see it the same way, or do you have a different view on that? Super. So Hisham, I have to say thank you so much. I believe it's really, really great that we have you on the table, and the future definitely in a kind of a cooperation with different countries will, and especially with Russia, will be a great future asset towards Saudi Arabia and the development of the country. Now, talking about another person, he's a very, very, I would say, unique person, as he also has a company which is called Unique Foods Company. This person, his name is Mohammed Al-Zuhaibi. He is in very different segments of the industry. It is not only to develop one product, import and export. He is the master, basically, in getting businesses rolling in super high volume. He is a very good colleague and a friend, and he is passionate about importing and exporting foods into and to Saudi Arabia. Mohammed, welcome on our round table here. It's a great pleasure having you here. Now, Mohammed, I have two questions for you, specific questions, which I think you can answer them the best, especially for our audience. How do you see export and import cooperation with Russian companies in a very positive way?
Yes, of course, we are both. I think it's a good opportunity for us, and it's a good chance. I think we are ready here as government sectors, as business people, since I am one of the business owners. We are a family business. Let me introduce myself also. I am a family business man. We grow on business in work. We directly deal with the traders, with the market, with end user also. So we need support, so especially from big companies like the one many companies. I think we have a good chance. Big market. We have a big challenge. I think we need their support also, because it's not a one-man show. It's a group, but it's a work. It's a union. I think we need to work on it. I think the Russian side are ready. Also, we are ready also here. And thank you, everybody, to give me this chance to talk. And I will do my best to achieve work and go on to business directly.
Super. Mohammed, that's very positive. I think this is great, because I know you are a man who is thinking for the future You always are very positive. You are going with new trends. And I think this is exactly what both of the countries are looking for. Corporate people, big companies which are multitasking and which have a goal to achieve. And I have another question for you. What problems did you face while working with foreign suppliers? I mean, not everything is easy. So we want to try to assist and help companies to go and to trade with Saudi Arabia. And in order to make their life easy, what do you think actually are the difficulties in going into this kind of business?
Difficulties which I think from my point of view, with our trading, with our importing from many countries, we are importing from more than 30 countries now. So we have a very good experience, but with the pandemic happened last year, we have learned a lot, new things to, new problems to solve. I think we will not, problems will come all the time. But as you said, we have to be positive. We have to achieve our goals. Also, we need support from the other side, especially in the technical, support, the technical sheet, the modern food industry terms and conditions. Since now everybody is understanding what is eating. Nobody eat, with this technology booming. Which everybody know what's happening. No, nothing to hide. So we have to be very clear. We have to be very direct with the work, with our product. So we need from them a very high quality product. We will not work in the low product quality. We are also now gathering many companies from around the world, and we want the best companies in Russia to come with us here, and we will support as much as we can in the market, since it's a very hard market, very hard competition. Everybody knows. Yes.
That's already fantastic. So the first thing I think what you have to learn is to say, Spasiba Balshoy, thank you very much for getting us a fantastic product into the market on a Russian level. Now, I would like to introduce our audience to the next person. We're coming to Al Sadan Group. Al Sadan Group, one of the key element players here in Saudi Arabia. And I'm very, very happy actually to call Alexei Mororov he is the group marketing director. And I had the pleasure in talking with Alexei before some days, and he has great visions, a great experience, and definitely a fantastic future goal to tell you. Alexei, please.
Thank you very much, Thomas, for the introduction. And спасибо и добрый день всем. It's a little bit funny to be Russian on the Saudi side at this event, but I'm a very diverse person, so I can play both Russian and Saudi role at the same time. Please.
We can't hear you.
Questions. Huh?
We can't hear you.
Hello, you hear me or not?
We hear you very well. We hear you very well. Just
okay.
Continue.
Okay, fine. So shall I start from my topics, or you will ask some questions?
I would like to ask you, first of all, I have a personal question to you. How do you like, as a Russian, to stay in Saudi Arabia? How is the difference between cold and hot weather, and definitely the climates and the surroundings?
Yeah, of course, the countries are very, very different, but at the same time, both countries are huge, and both countries have different landscapes and different climates. In Russia, you have all the climates from the North Arctic climate to the deserts as well. So we have even deserts and dunes in Russia, in let's say Astrakhan area and so on. And in Saudi, you have also deserts, a lot of deserts, of course, that's a huge desert country. But at the same time, you have somewhere you have forests, you have mountains. Unfortunately, there are no rivers. That's the key difference, because the rest you can find in both countries, but there are no rivers here. But we have two seas on the side, Gulf and Red Sea, which is great. Unfortunately, I moved recently from Jeddah to Riyadh, and I'm in the middle of desert. But still, I like hot climate more than cold, as most of the people living in some conditions, they like something opposite. So, for instance, Saudis like cold. I'm from cold country. I like hot.
So I ask you this specifically. This is like trading, importing and exporting. It's people who want to go into other businesses. It's exactly the same. Like it, have a change and go for it. And therefore comes my first question. What are the requirements of retail chains for product suppliers?
So actually the requirements are the same here as everywhere in the world. In general, marketing and commercial activity everywhere has the same principles. So you have to first be in demand for your customers or for your target audience, and that's the main thing. So the products should fit the retailers a certain strategy. The products offered by the vendors should fit the retailer's customer profile and the customer needs. Ideally, these products should close some assortment gaps. So especially for importers, you need to find what's the niche you want to address with this product, because many niches and most of all the big categories are already taken by the leaders. The country is not as easy as before. So let's say 30, 40 years ago, you would bring here anything, sell it, and people will buy it because everything is new. The market is not mature. Now Saudi market is mature. So first you need to understand that the market is becoming more and more competitive. Even in my 4 years here, I see the market becoming more competitive every year. People have less disposable income because of taxes, which were not here a few years ago because of additional economical pressure. And there is increasing competitive activity across all categories. So first you need to answer the question, who will buy my product and why they will buy my product and not something which is already on the market? Or maybe if the category is not on the market yet, maybe nobody needs it. So you need to start from the market research, market understanding, defining your target audience, finding the relevant niche, and of course evaluating its potential before you will make investments and list with the retailers. And listing with retailers, that's basically more or less the same process as in most of the markets. So you should find the strategic fit with the assortment. Of course, the products must be registered by SFDA. The vendors should be credible in terms of financials and in terms of supply capabilities. This is usually outlined in the service level agreement. Of course, is in any country, you will have to agree on the scope of listing, which formats, which stores, which geography, you will have to pay listing fees. And definitely the vendor should provide marketing plan and marketing support, especially for new brand and especially for the new products. And of course, you should be ready for post-payment or consignment conditions and to accept product returns if there are any. And definitely, especially for the Russian producers, which I know are listening now to my presentation, and based on the list which I've got from the organizers, quite a number of producers or vendors have good potential to produce private labels for the local retailers. And of course, this will change the game, so the terms and conditions will be different, but that should be discussed individually.
I mean, what is fantastic when Alexei is really deep into these processes, as he is also quite a long time here. He has a really in deep knowledge about the market, and this is very, very beneficial for everyone and anyone who would like to do future businesses with Saudi Arabia. And I think Alexei is the absolutely right guy to ask in the B2B sessions, because he is a key element player and knows the business from A to Z. And I would like to have another question, if you allow me, Alexei. What should be considered when exporters enter KSA retail market? A small brief about that one.
First of all, you need to consider that the market is still not as much saturated in terms of retailers as in Russia. Still, there is big share of traditional trade. We have around 35% up to 40% of traditional trade, small grocery shops located here and there in the neighborhoods. And at the same time, of course, modern trade is growing tremendously in the recent decades, but still it doesn't control most of the market. So you need to consider that if you are going to achieve mass scale, and if the product has mass demand, you need to consider also not only modern trade, but also wholesalers, distributors, which will move your product across all those smaller channels. And of course, for the bigger retailers, you have big companies which are leading the retail industry in supermarkets, starting from Panda, which is #1 in the market, or Thame, which is very big, especially in Riyadh. Other retailers such as Danube and Bin Daoud, of course, Sathan, which is very strong in Riyadh, and Spar, which is a new brand. It's an international brand which we represent, Al Sathan Group here in Saudi. And we are starting to develop it from Riyadh, and then we will roll out to the other parts of the country. So also you need to know that e-commerce is relatively small still, depending on the market. Let's say Riyadh, we have only 7% penetration of e-commerce, even after 2020, which of course accelerated all the growth in e-commerce tremendously. But still, it's a small market. You can try it for niche, very premium offers. But overall, retail, grocery retail, supermarkets, that's the main channel to enter this country.
Super. Thank you very, very much. I mean, it was really, really interesting. And I think this and deep knowledge definitely will help everyone to explore and to really do business with Saudi Arabia. So, Alexei, thank you so, so much for your efforts and for the time. And I'm looking forward to see you somewhere around in Jeddah very soon to have a nice and another very informative talk with you to develop Saudi in the right direction and according to the Vision 2030. Thank you very much and very nice regards to Riyadh.
Thank you.
Coming to the next person, actually, he is a very, very long time in Saudi Arabia as well. We talk about Maksud Ali. Maksud Ali, he is the Associate Director, Retail Intelligence KSA in Kuwait for Nielsen IQ. Very well known in the market, not only here in Saudi, in the Middle East, essential player in IQ. And I would like actually to have Maksud on the talk, please.
Hello. Hi, Thomas. How are you? Good morning to all.
Nice to see you. Great pleasure.
My pleasure as well. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to attend this session.
Always, always welcome. I mean, we had a fantastic talk some days back, and it was really very enlightening for me. And I would like to actually give you the podium and the place to talk about a very, very specific question for you. What are the consumption trends of the KSA population? And what statistics and forecasts are available for the food industry?
Thank you, Thomas, for posing this question. I'd like to give you a brief background of what's happening in Saudi Arabia and across the world. Like we have seen soaring underemployment, salary cuts, diminishing furlough or support packages amidst the COVID-19 pandemic have led to the loss of income and deteriorating financial situations. Well, despite the positive news of vaccine deployments, okay, this points to a year that will require historic readjustments for the consumer's good industry. Okay, in 2020, the reality is that while many markets may not technically be in a recession, as the growth is clawed back versus 2020, it will be suppressed relative to the pre-pandemic period. Well, we have seen many large developed and emerging markets will face stagnant and contracting economies and rolling job security concerns. Well, the sharp and immediate unemployment effect in 2020 will not recover in most markets in 2021. Worst hit industries are travel, tourism, leisure, and the younger demographics will face employment and income shortages that will take years to recover. Next slide, please. Yeah. Well, with a few early signs that there will be substantial improvement in confidence or spending due to vaccine, the economic, employment, environmental, and societal consequence of the pandemic will continue to be foremost in shaping mid to long-term behavioral resets and consumption patterns. Well, more than half of the consumers around the world have experienced some level of employment impact, whether it's a permanent or a temporary job loss, or reduced salaries, or taking unpaid leaves. And for many, financial support packages have come to an end despite second wave of ongoing mobility restrictions. Next slide. Can we go to the next slide? Okay. What we have seen is like with a few early signs, there will be substantial improvement in confidence of spending due to vaccine, the economic employment environmental. Okay. So only 13% of the global consumers are still receiving support packages. So this has resulted in Nielsen identifying four unique consumer segments based on their changing circumstances and approach to consuming and spending. A massive 73% of consumers, which is like newly constrained or cautious insulated, are actively changing their way, the way they shop, consume, and spend. Existing constrained and unrestricted insulated have continued to shop in similar ways to before. However, they have not been entirely shielded from changes due to lockdown, restrictions, and out to in-home pivots. The initial two segments, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, the initial two segments have been expanded to four segments based on additional criteria to understand the profile of the consumer segments and the resultant spending and consumption changes and patterns. Newly constrained have doubled. Insulated cautious are proactively rationalizing. A massive 73% of consumers, this which is the two groups in the middle, newly constrained and cautious insulated, are changing their consumption behavior and spending based on their circumstances. They are scrutinizing their budgets, planning and how they will spend to a far greater extent than that other two groups on the either side, who have not changed to the same extent, but are still rethinking how they spend, and the UI have more money to spend than the other groups. Next slide. Yeah, well, there are distinct consumers, okay, coping mechanisms emerging. They are looking to obtain more value than ever before due to their compressed wallets and precautionary mindset. But they're also making these decisions in the context of the brands that they know and trust. What we have seen is like shoppers feel that food prices have increased. So in KSA, about 56% of the shoppers, they feel the food prices have increased, and 67% focus on buying only essentials and cutting down on luxuries in KSA. So growth of premium segments, okay, and which has a higher price index, which is greater than 120, and deluxe products, which has a higher price index of greater than 160. Which is higher than the category average across food and drug baskets. So example for these categories are like soaps, meal makers, vitamins, and minerals, and coffee, while we have seen beverages decline significantly. And while promo-seeking behavior is on the rise, 48% of the population of the consumers in KSA, okay, they change stores based on which has the best promotions. And 72% take advantage of special offers or deals in Saudi Arabia. Next slide. Yeah, and also we have seen as prices rises, private label could become a more viable alternative, especially where private label price tiers options are available. Markets with existing strong private label presence like UK and USA have not seen private label growing ahead of branded. Markets with smaller private label presence have seen private label growing ahead of branded in many cases. So like the 20%, okay, people wish to switch to cheaper brands in Saudi. Okay, this is basically the annual FMCG market size of Saudi Arabia, which is about 67 billion. So this is based on the categories which Nielsen audit. So what we have seen is like the channel preference are changing as well. Okay, we are seeing more hyper in supermarkets. So supermarkets are depicting the highest growth, which is about 15%, while the other channels we are seeing a decline. And of course, pharmacies, because of the healthcare categories, we are seeing an increase in this. And the overall market is growing by about 2%, 2.7%. Okay, so at the top line, okay, and market level, the changes in stores and channels used has changed, with also online being more often and more convenient channel, and this has happened at the expense of supermarkets. So this, as a channel level, is spreading, is spread of spending behavior across retail models. And also if we look at the super categories, we see the grocery and the dairy, okay, and home care, it's showing more growth, while the other categories are showing a decline or flat growth. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, these are about the solutions which Nielsen offers. Like we track more than 150 categories in Saudi Arabia and across the region. So we can share the key accounts data, which is the self-expanded data from the key retailers in Saudi and across the region. Then we have completed the retail outlet census. So what we have seen in the census is like a huge growth of about 16% in the universe versus the previous census, which we had done in 2016. And while modern trade is increasing, we have seen traditional trade is declining. Okay. And this is mainly happening from the old neighborhoods, and new neighborhoods are expanding, and we see a huge growth in the modern trade outlets. And also thank you.
So I want to say thank you very, very much, Maksud. I mean, I know it's a lot of efforts. You're very, very long time in the market, and definitely you are the perfect researcher, I believe, in these topics and regards, as the graphs are showing. And the company, basically, Nielsen IQ, is really making actually their feasibility studies on the actual facts which are going on here in Saudi. And they are basically the leaders and directing you into the direction which, as a company, if you want to enter the market, can guide you in the right direction. So, Maksud, thank you so much for being with us today. Wishing you a fantastic day. Thanks for all the information, and looking forward to see you somewhere around in the near future. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So now coming into the next kind of business, which is actually Nutritional Dairy Producers Union. And we have an amazing person here, Artem Belov, who is the General Director of the same. And he will actually get a very specific question, which he will answer for us in some seconds. Artem, welcome to the roundtable discussion.
Thomas, thank you very much. Thank you very much for so great introduction. Thank you. I'm ready to answer all your detailed questions about Russian dairy and about our export opportunities.
Super. That's very, very good, because we are all very, very keen to know about that. And I believe you are the right guy actually to enlighten us about a lot of things. But one very, very specific question. How is the dairy industry developing in the premium and eco segments? How do you see that, and how your company is actually taking the approaches towards the direction in having very, very big market shares?
Thomas, thank you very much. I would like to ask my colleague to show my presentation. I will show you some slides, I think 2 or maybe 3 slides. And I would like to discover, to make a brief presentation of Russian dairy and to clarify the situation with eco products in Russia and eco dairy products in Russia. So the next slide, please. So some figures on Russian dairy market. In fact, Russia is one of the largest dairy producers in the world. Some figures. Russia is number 5, 5th largest raw milk producers in terms of cow milk production in 2020. After European Union, United States, India, and of course China, the largest dairy market, one of the largest market all over the world. In previous year, we produced more than 23 million tons of raw milk. During last 5 years, the growth in raw milk production was approximately 4 million tons. It confirms that the Russian dairy industry developed very fast and very rapid. Significant factors which influence on this situation is the government support. Now the government every year bring to the industry almost €500 million. So, and it's very significant amount. So as a result, Russia is number 3 world largest producers of cheese and quark. And from my point of view, it could be a very good product to export from Russian Federation to Saudi Arabia. We are number 5 world largest producers of butter. We are 9 world largest producers in skimmed milk powder and 10th world largest producer of whole milk powder. So if we talk about HoReCa segment, it's one of the most rapid development segments in Russian dairy production. Now it's not so huge; it's approximately near a few percent in comparison with the all-around milk on dairy products production, but it has significant growth rate day after day. In Russia, we have a good potential. May I ask you next slide, please? Next one. So in Russia, we have a very huge potential for development of premium and eco products. First of all, because we have a huge territory, we have a good resources, water, good climate, and so on, and good ecological situation, especially in some parts of Russia, such as central part of Russia, those parts of Russia, Siberia, and some other regions. So, and it's a good base for production premium and eco products. So, and of course, Russian producers ready to work under the demand of such products from companies in different countries, including Saudi Arabia. So, and in my presentation, there is some slide with detailed information on companies who produce eco premium products in Russia. So, and if it could be interesting for our partners from Saudi side, we are ready to discuss the direct relationship, mutual direct relationship in development of export projects. So this is core ideas I would like to introduce today and ready to answer a question.
Super. I have to say thank you very, very much, Artem. I mean, I have visited Russia many times, numerous times, and I'm a big fan of your food and of your products because it has been a lot of times underestimated, and I believe it's a very great opportunity to make international business ties because your country is so big and it has such great qualities which can simply compete with any other products from around the world. And I'm very pleased to say that because as a World Chefs President running millions of chefs around the world, we are in direct contact with your products and with the products from all around the nations. And I believe it's a great opportunity to go into the market here in Saudi Arabia. And I have to say thank you very, very much for the efforts, the time dedication you show us today. And I'm wishing you personally the very best of luck that a very good business tie with Saudi Arabia will be approaching very soon and that you are starting to exchange your knowledges and your products from both sides. So wishing you a fantastic day and spasiba большое.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
Okay, now we got all the information about the dairy products, and you know how big actually is the volume what Russia is producing. You could see that in the graphs, and it was really something which is outstanding and very, very impressive. Coming to the next person, he is actually working for the Association of Confectionery Enterprises, ASCONT. His name is Vyacheslav Lashmankin. He is the executive director, and he will be with us in some seconds. Vyacheslav, how are you doing?
Да, Томас, я вас слышу и вижу.
Yes, Thomas, I can hear you well. I can see you well. So with your permission, I would like to very briefly speak about the Russian confectionery industry, and I would like to speak about the offers that our confectionery producers have and which interest they may have for HoReCa sector in Saudi Arabia.
Absolutely.
Can I see my slides, please?
Следующий слайд, пожалуйста. Так, в прошлом году
Last year, confectionery industry has produced 3,900,000 metric tons of confectioneries, which has brought Russia to the 5th position worldwide in terms of the volume of the confectionery products produced. Yet the internal market in Russia is the 8th largest market in the world, which basically highlights the fact that the confectionery industry of the Russian Federation is in fact very export-oriented. And speaking in terms of numbers, last year Russian confectioneries had exported approximately 700,000 metric tons, so its products worth of $1.4 billion US, and the geography of exports accounts for 91 countries worldwide, 91 countries. Big volumes of Russian confectionery products have been shipped to the Gulf states, the Gulf countries, and first and foremost to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Yet in this presentation, I would like to focus not only on the brands of confectioneries that we have already present in the Saudi Arabia market and are familiar to the consumers there, but I would like to speak about the opportunities which are not yet promoted and which can be promoted and which can be offered to the consumers in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We're working in a very highly competitive internal market and external markets, and Russian confectioneries have a very big palette of products that can satisfy the demand of very exquisite and demanding consumers, also those living in Saudi Arabia. For example, our enterprise is coming up with very unique brand of handmade confectioneries, which can be a nice decoration of every festivity table in every country, and it's very competitive price-wise. So I believe it can become a point of interest in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And thus, knowing the trends that are currently shown by the consumers worldwide, Russian confectionery producers are coping with new products, new types of products, also in those segments that are that have a lower content of sugar and fat. Thus, we know that we could come up with the products that are suitable for our potential consumers, belonging to eco segment, and those enriched products, as we call it, enriched with vitamins and minerals. I mean, mid-size and small-size enterprises in Russia can develop and come up with the products targeted at specific customers, those customers that may be interested about our products, including Saudi Arabia, of course. If some of the offers that we've been making is interesting for our potential customers, please contact the Russian Association of the Confectionery Enterprises, ASCOND. Our details, our contact details are here at this slide. Please contact us and we'll find an opportunity to arrange a business meeting between the Russian producers and the potential customers in the Gulf countries. Thank you very much for joining me here.
Vyacheslav, thank you very, very much. I mean, you already got a very big fan in me. So when I come the next time to Russia, I will try all your sweets because I'm a sweet tongue and I see the presentations which you had over here. I think it's fantastic. And as I know Saudi Arabia, the people here, they love sweets very, very much. And this is a kind of a nourishment, and I believe there is a very great business potential in the future coming up. As I've seen, first of all, the products look fantastic, and I'm sure they taste fantastic. So thank you very much for being with us today, and I'm wishing you good success, a lot of luck, and all the very, very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Thomas, very much, and have a good day.
Thank you too. Thank you. So now coming to our last speaker for today, it's a lady. Her name is Natalia Chavel. She is the Deputy General Director of Belevskaya Pastel Manufactory. And I'm very happy to have Natalia on the call today and on the round table, because she will be actually enlightening us about a lot of the pastel manufacturing and their future thoughts. Natalia, please.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I know that actually the name of our company is very difficult to pronounce in any language, even in Russian. So let's call it Pastela in general, and I will just in short explain our experience, not only in HoReCa, but probably in expert, because it's like something which we are doing. Can you please turn on our presentation? So yeah, okay. So while we are speaking about Pastela, we are really proud of doing that kind of Russian natural dessert, because it's first it's a handmade, secondly it's an ancient Russian traditional dessert that is made only of two components, apple and egg protein. And actually egg protein is just only 1% in the component structures. So let's say that that is a really unique product that you will never find in any country except Russia. And so we are, as a manufacturers, as producers, we are actually meeting up the problem that that not for 10 years ago, even in Russia already forgot what was a Belov Pastela, because it's an ancient production of the 16th and 18th century that unfortunately did not work for almost the whole 20th century. And our manufacturer, we restored the traditional recipe only in 2010. So for now, we are the biggest producers in Russia of pastela, and the fourth biggest producers of zephyr, that is Russian marshmallow. And in 10 years of our working in Russia, we are actually 5 of them are doing our business, trying to do export for 2 big reasons. For the main reason is to show the world that in Russia there is no only vodka and caviar. And the second reason is that we really think that desserts can be healthy, gluten-free, sugar-free, and that all customers, from children to old and elderly people, can eat them. So that is our product, and we are really happy to export it. So can you please make a next slide for us? Okay, so that is a short diagram of production growth of our company. So you can see that in 10 years, actually, we have grown a lot, and putting into the attention that we are a small company. We are not a huge holding. We are not a huge producers. We are a small company, only working for 10 years on the market. And for now, we are also exporting our product to the 18 countries in the world. And actually, we've been in a Gulf Food exhibition this February and made the first sales shipment, the first shipment to Dubai. And we found out that our product is really meeting with a pleasure by the customers of the Gulf countries, because they don't care where it comes from, but they care what it's made from. And it's really important trend now that food should be healthy, should be without sugar, should be without any chemicals, and that is why so many countries are really want us to be on their market. The next slide, please. Okay, so for us to be represented on the international market, it's very important, as everybody's told here, to meet up the requirements of the other countries. So of course, it's a shelf life of the product. Of course, it's all about the healthy. It's of course about the wide production line and the production quality. And let's say that the market of Gulf countries is really difficult for us. Firstly, the culture is such different from our culture. The language is different. The business schemes are different. And we were really surprised that we could make the first shipment to our distributor in Dubai. And now we are looking for new partners there. And we really understand that it's impossible to make any wide business in these countries without having a stable partners of each country of this region. So actually, we are really happy to be here because we've heard people who are working in this business, and we will be looking forward for the context and probably for some consultation, because for us as a Russian business, we really want to be in this region, but we don't know how really be in this region. And we wish it's going to be more events like this to explain us, a small business, how to go worldwide. That's it in 5 minutes for everything that I can say.
Natalia, thank you very, very much. I mean, first of all, saying pastilla is a fantastic product. I tried it when I was in Russia. It is something very delightful. I as well had before a talk some days ago with Sergey, and he said, yes, it is so special that we are using this always on special days, also for special festivities. It goes with the health sector, it goes with something which is really amazing. And I believe there is a very, very big potential for this product because it's, first of all, it's fruits, it's natural, and it is very, very tasty. And I want to say thank you very, very much to you, Natalia, being actually with us with Pastilla. And I think definitely the future will be very, very bright for all the people which are here on the round table. Coming basically to a final conclusion and to a final talk. What always I have to say is, I mean, we all sat here together on the table, and I have to say, as we all know, food brings the world together. Food sometimes is the perfect ambassador between politicians, between governments, between businesses. And definitely we as culinarians and we from the industry have to make the world a better place. We have to think for the future. We have to think for sustainability. We have to actually avoid food waste, and we have to cooperate together, because I see it as a leader of the World Organization with millions of chefs from around the world, that we have to change our eating habits and we have to change our behaviors towards how to respect food in a proper way. And what we as specifically as chefs always say, believe in the power of the white jacket, because chefs always around the world has done and has sometimes solved problems which have came up. Business is very important to do. And I believe due to the globalization which we are in, we have to come closer together and we have to work close together. We as a group here on the table will offer you and tell you that we all will be definitely coming to you to Russia as a group and visiting you, supporting you with what we can. And if the time allows us after COVID-19, definitely there should be a roundtable discussion in Russia where we can actually bring the world a little bit closer together, start to make business on a high range, and in addition to this, to make the things happen as we would like to do that. And for the final pop-up, I just will go on the main screen so you will see the team. Everyone is still on the table, and I think it is so important that we all work together. So now I'm wishing you definitely all the very, very best of luck for your future businesses and coming up to the situation that we all have to work in the future together. And a very, very big congratulations to the Russian side and to the Saudi side for making this cooperation and talk happen. And we all wish you the very, very best. Stay safe, stay healthy, and food brings the world together. Spasiba большое, and have a fantastic day. Thank you very much.